up? This is JP from Off the Ball Network giving you a recap of Week 7 of the NFL season. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe down below to Off the Ball Network for all your sports needs, articles, podcasts, everything you need on offtheballnetwork.com. Check out our website and also follow us on all our social media platforms. Shout out to the guys from Off the Ball Network doing their thing and everything. Don't miss Full Court Fridays on Twitter Spaces. Don't miss each and any guys' podcast. Check out the articles. They are just fire and everything. Don't miss any breaking news. Just check us out Off the Ball. There's so many guys. Support the movement. We'll hopefully be the only 4-letter sports company in the whole world. So check us out Off the Ball Network. Let's go ahead and get into these NFL recaps right here of Week 7. On Thursday night, we had the Baker Mayfield getting hurt, so Case Keenum came in. Sorry about mispronouncing the name and everything, just because he played for my Vikings and everything. So Case Keenum came in and started and played well. Got 21 out of 33, 199 yards and a touchdown for the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns, please make sure Case Keenum will be the starter, hopefully for the rest of the season, because Baker Mayfield is not going to leave this team like Case Keenum did. I'm just saying here. Then, they didn't have Kareem Hunt. They didn't have Nick Chubb. Dearness Johnson played really well. 22 carries, 146 yards, and a touchdown. Browns defeated the Broncos 17-14. The Broncos are just looking downhill from there. It's just like they got so hot, but they beat like teams that were not that great, but then they just kind of trended downhill ever since then. They just could not just pick up just like a quality win. So Browns is still like on the up and up because of Baker Mayfield, but in terms of this victory, this is a victory we'll just keep for now. Then we had the Washington football team against the Packers, where we saw the Packers win 24-10. Aaron Rodgers threw for 274, 3 touchdowns, scoring 27 out of 35. Tyler Heineke didn't play really well. It's just like he's not the right quarterback for the football team. The football team's just been going up and down. The defense, we thought they'd be good this season. They just haven't really been performing the expectations and everything. So now Aaron Rodgers is looking good. He's in the MVP conversation. So definitely the Packers is the best team in the NFC North. I mean, that's by far. It's going to be hard for them because, they lost Devontae Adams and Lazard, to the COVID list. So it's going to be tough for them, this Sunday. So we'll just see what the Packers can come out on this Sunday. Then we go to the most disappointing team so far in the NFL, the past couple weeks is the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes just haven't been looking like himself recently, getting paid a whole lot of money, and to be, the franchise quarterback. He's still the most talented quarterback in the NFL, but he just hasn't been the best quarterback this season so far. And you can just tell a thrashing by the Tennessee Titans, 27-3. That's just really bad. Patrick Mahomes is just not looking good, and then he got hurt, and he's cleared concussion protocol. We don't know if he's going to play Sunday against the Giants, but hopefully he'll have that bounce back game. But it just seems like ever since John Scotta got onto the team, they just went kind of in a slump. The defense is god awful, just letting the Titans just freaking threw touchdowns all day against them, even though they didn't score in the second half. But it just looked god awful on that defense. The offense, Mahomes is just doing a little too much. The offensive line, they kind of, thought they could improve after that horrible Super Bowl performance. And, getting guys like Orlando Brown from the Ravens, who's not a great pass blocker. He's a great run blocker, but not a great pass blocker. So that offensive line is struggling. Then you have running backs in and out of the lineup. And, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce dropping balls. So, and then the coaching, like Eddie Reed's been in this predicament before with Donovan McNabb. They get into them slumber, games. It's just like, they're just not looking good right there. They're just not looking good. That loss, it might put them out of the playoff picture. So hopefully the win against the Giants Sunday, they can kind of just get back to looking around, try to look like a good team, but they're just not looking great right now. Like I said, only 3 points. It's just terrible. But Tannehill, 270 yards and a touchdown, going 21 out of 27. Henry didn't have the 3 touchdown performance, but he had 29 carries, 86 yards. A.J. Brown, 8 receptions, 133 yards and a touchdown. If Derrick Henry is not on, you have to watch out for that receiver core. A.J. Brown, Julio Jones. I mean, oof. Tennessee's looking pretty good right now. Then we have the Atlanta Falcons, who got another impressive victory, but it was against the Dolphins, though. Tua did a great, had a great performance at quarterback for the Dolphins, but the Dolphins is just terrible, just having these they're just losing games. Matt Ryan's looking pretty good, going back to the old Matt Ryan, 25 out of 40, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, Cordell Patterson. That combination of Matt Ryan and Cordell Patterson I really like. Cordell Patterson is one of those players that he's when he gets hot, he's hot. And then Kyle Pitts played really well, 7 receptions, 163 yards. So, Falcons won by a field goal, but hey, you got to take it, though. So they're looking pretty good. They're trending kind of up, though. The Dolphins they're just not looking good right now. They're just not looking good. And I just hate to have to answer questions because, all the distraction, because the Dolphins might go get Deshaun Watson and have him come down to Miami with the weapons they have. So, I feel bad for Tua, but, it is what it is, though. It's the NFL. Then we have the Jets versus the Patriots, where we saw, Zach Wilson getting hurt, and then Matt Jones, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. Destroyed the Jets, 54-13. There was nothing else I should say other than, Damian Harris, 14 carries, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brandon Bolden, 6 receptions, 79 yards and a touchdown. Pretty much they scored in double figures except for the third quarter, but man, they put a whooping on the Jets. Then we have the Panthers versus the Giants. And it feels so good to say that a running back is so valuable to this team. When Chris McCaffrey went down, the Panthers, they just haven't been themselves. Sam Darnold went from he been in the MVP conversation because he was looking good to now going back to his days as a New York Jet, just struggling, just played god awful. He got benched by PJ Walker, and that's just going to be interesting. Who's going to be the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers for this week's game against the Falcons? Daniel Jones has been looking pretty good the past couple of weeks, going 23 out of 33, 203 yards and a touchdown. And they're playing without Saquon Barkley too as well, who's been up and down with that ankle injury he has. So 25-3, the Giants winning. So let's go ahead and get into the game that kind of shocked me too as well, other than the Chiefs, is that the Ravens, after having a really impressive victory last week, they got destroyed by the Bengals, 41-17. Joe Burrow carved up that Ravens defense like it was nothing. Like Peyton Manning was orchestrating the freaking offense right there for the Bengals. Joe Burrow, 416 yards, 3 touchdowns, 23 out of 38. It's time to say that Joe Burrow is going to be in that MVP conversation. He has been looking so good recently. Jamar Chase is just the guy. Is that go-to receiver. He is so good. And you forget that, you still got T. Higgins. And Joe Mixon too as well. So, they're looking really good. That Bengals team is scary good. Jamar Chase, 8 receptions, 201 yards and a touchdown. Man, the Bengals are looking really good. This is a really good quality win against the Ravens here. Then we have the Eagles versus the Raiders, where we saw the Raiders beat the Eagles 33-22 behind Derek Carr, 31 out of 34, 323 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kenyon Drake, 14 carries, 69 yards and 1 touchdown. They're looking really good. So, and they play without Darren Waller too as well. Then we have the Rams versus the Lions. The Lions been playing competitive this year, but that doesn't really say on the record books. They're 0-7. But the Rams, defeating them 28-19. Matthew Stafford, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, 28 out of 41. He finding his favorite receiver, Coop, 10 receptions, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff, you think he might have revenge on his mind going against his former team, but he just couldn't wheel them out any type of way and all that. That defense is just so good, with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. So the Rams is looking really good. Then we have the Texans versus the Cardinals. The Cardinals defeated the Texans 31-5. There was nothing else to say other than that you thought the Texans was up 5-0, but the Cardinals exploded in the second quarter with 17 points. Kyler Murray, 20 out of 28, 261 yards, 3 touchdowns. Another guy in the MVP conversation. Zach Ertz, 66 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 receptions. He's not old yet, y'all. He can still play now, so he can still play. Then we have the Bills versus the Buccaneers. This was just a nightmare for Justin Fields as he had 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions, and 2 fumbles. Tom Brady looking like himself after threw his 600 touchdown pass. Shout out to Tom Brady, the GOAT of all GOATs in terms of quarterback. 20 out of 36, 211 yards, 4 touchdowns. Chris Godwin, 111 yards, 1 touchdown, 8 receptions. Man, I'll tell you what, the Buccaneers is looking really good. They're looking really good. Then the Colts versus the 49ers. The Colts has been looking really good so far. They could have had 3 straight victories if they didn't lose to the Ravens, but the Ravens had that come up. But they were up, though. They were up. But they're looking really good. 30-18 against the San Francisco 49ers without Jimmy Garoppolo. If it was Jimmy Garoppolo with the 49ers, it might be a different story. You know, Trey Lance is still learning and everything, but, you know, with Jimmy Garoppolo in the line, it might be a little bit different. But, oh, yeah, he actually did play. Never mind. He actually did play. Oh, God. Well, still, they're just up and down, though. So, Jimmy Garoppolo is 16 out of 27, 181 yards and 1 touchdown. And the guy, you know, Jonathan Taylor's been looking really good. He's been looking really good. Michael Pittman Jr., he is actually balling right now. 4 receptions, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, Colts is looking really good. They're looking really good so far. Then we have the Saints versus the Seahawks that you saw last night. Wasn't really much of an offensive game and everything, 13-10. But look, they're 4-2, so you can't say nothing about it. Jameis Winston, 19 out of 35, 222 yards, 1 touchdown. Alvin Kamara, you know, we caught more than just running the ball. 10 receptions, 128 yards, and a touchdown against, you know, a Russell Wilson-less Seahawks team. You know, I feel bad for the Seahawks. Hopefully the Seahawks don't lose to the Jaguars on Sunday with Geno Smith as the backup quarterback, but it could happen because that's just how the Seahawks are playing right now. And that's your NFL recap for Week 7. If you like this video, make sure you like, press that like button, subscribe to Off the Ball Network for all your sports needs. Follow us on all social media platforms to check out offtheballnetwork.com. And let me tell you, just comment down below your favorite game, what game you're looking forward to, because these games coming up on Sunday, like the Vikings versus the Cowboys, 2 teams that were on bye weeks going against each other on Sunday Night Football, the Patriots versus the Chargers. I mean, what else could I say, man? It's going to be some exciting football this weekend, so comment down below your favorite games. Talk about who's your biggest winner, your biggest loser, the most surprising team so far, the Bengals, as I should say here. And just comment down below. I'm JP, and we are out of here. Peace.